Well, hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice-weekly dose of the finest two-way propaganda. Some animals are more equal than others, and now cops are about to get even more unequal. Leosa already allows cops and ex-cops to disregard state carry laws, but they still wanted to be allowed to carry in school zones, national parks, buses, and to be exempted from magazine capacity limits. Oh, and they also really don't like the training requirements. Politicians on both sides of the aisle are happy to grant exemptions to the Praetorian Guard, of course, so naturally they whipped up a bill and the House just passed it with bipartisan support. The ironically named Don Bacon from Texas said he supports the Leosa reform bill so retired and off-duty law enforcement officers can exercise their right to concealed carry. You noticed that, right? How he thinks cops have rights that you don't? Now don't get it twisted. I'm not against cops carrying. Cops are human beings, and gun rights are human rights. I'm against any class of people getting special treatment, especially in regard to a fundamental right. Now, I'm not a lawyer because there are some things even I would never do for a Klondike bar, but how is this not a gross insult to the equal protection clauses of both the 5th and 14th Amendments? Now, I know some folks are saying we should support this because it still means more good guys with guns out there, but I'm not buying it. What do you guys think? Should cops be treated differently than the rest of us? Would it even be possible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors? So let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by Vortex. The Vortex Defender line features a constant on emitter with no flicker and shake awake, so it's always ready. The Defender CCW is impressively compact for daily carry, the ST is a bit larger, and the XL is an absolute beast with one of the largest windows available on a micro dot, and now all three are available with a green reticle. And by Springfield Armory. Imagine a 9mm carbine with roller delay action just like Kraut's Space Magic. Now imagine it didn't have garbage ergonomics. The revolutionary new Kuna from Springfield Armory lets you have that roller delayed, smooth recoil you're looking for, but it also gives you a reversible, non-reciprocating charging handle and absolutely everything. And by 1776 Insurance. Most homeowners' policies only cover up to $2,500 for firearms. Now, I don't know about you, but I've got more than that in just optics. 1776 gives you comprehensive coverage against breakage, theft, fire, and burglary for all of your guns, and you don't have to give them your serial numbers. The Nevada Senate just passed a bill which prohibits people from owning a gun if they have been convicted of a misdemeanor hate crime in the past 10 years. What is a misdemeanor hate crime in Nevada, you ask? It's any misdemeanor which was motivated by the race, religion, national origin, disability, orientation, or gender of the victim. So you can imagine the sort of relatively mild behaviors which could be labeled a hate crime with that sort of definition. Not that I condone singling people out for hatred, even for non-criminal attention, of course. I'm just saying that leaving a flaming bag of dog poo on somebody's doorstep doesn't really indicate you're a violent thug. I'm sure someone will say I support hate crimes, but that's not at all what I'm saying. I just think we should lock up dangerous people and let everybody else carry a gun if they want. Felons shouldn't even be prohibited from carrying a gun if and when they are released. We sure as hell shouldn't be interfering with this fundamental right over a misdemeanor. What do you guys think? His name was Brian Malinowski. He was executed by government agents in the still of the night seconds after they disabled his camera while his wife watched in horror, and now she's suing them. And by them, I mean Brian Malinowski's widow, Mayor, filed a lawsuit against the United States, the ATF, the individual agents involved, and a couple of local cops assigned to the task force. Now, I just want to take a moment to appreciate that one of the men involved in the murder of Brian Malinowski was named Sprinkles, and the other is literally a coward. You think Sprinkles will keep his qualified immunity when the judge asks him why he killed a man over a $200 tax, or why they chose to execute a search warrant at the time that was most likely to result in a confrontation? The suit argues the ATF had no reason to behave the way it did. They knew Malinowski was a peaceable man. They knew he believed he was breaking no laws because they talked to him while undercover at the gun show. They knew he worked at the airport in a secure area with no weapons and that he was the highest paid employee in the entire city of Little Rock. They could have chosen to execute the search warrant while he was away at work, if they weren't there to murder him, of course. And their whole case against him was based on a rule they published after they killed him. You see, with a salary of over $250,000 a year, Brian Malinowski believed no one could possibly believe he traded a few handguns with the principal objective of livelihood and profit. They very deliberately chose the most violent route at their disposal. I know it's an uphill battle suing the government in their own courts, but I hope Mrs. Malinowski breaks one off inside of them. And I hope that we can change the name of the Little Rock Airport from the Bill and Hillary Clinton Airport to someplace that doesn't make you feel like you're gonna accidentally unalive yourself for no reason at all whatsoever. In all seriousness, hit the link below in the doobly-doo to sign the petition to rename the Little Rock Airport to the Brian Malinowski Airport. The Department of Justice reached a settlement with Rarebreed, and some folks are calling that a win for NAGR. I don't think it's a win. It's not fully a loss either, but it is definitely not a win. It's, well, settled. First, it isn't a binding precedent. It's a dead end. The ATF is not bound by any court order. They agree to return as many of the triggers they stole as is practicable, but there is no recourse if they drag their feet or never get around to it at all. And Rarebreed had to promise not to make a forced reset trigger for a handgun. If you're asking, what about AR pistols? Well, they define a handgun as a gun that takes its ammo in its grip for the context of this settlement. And they agreed to aggressively enforce their patent. There is some question as to whether the Rarebreed patent even protects the FRT though. Fudbusters did an excellent analysis of this settlement, and Matt actually is a lawyer for the light side. He looked at a patent from 1934 that seemed to describe a mechanism which functions the exact same way as an FRT. So Rarebreed might be unable to defend their patent anyway. Theoretically, the government promises not to harass other people over FRTs, but those hypothetical other people are not a party to the agreement, and there's really nothing that would stop the ATF from prosecuting people who have homemade FRTs or triggers made by other companies. At the same time, the ATF is standing right out there in public saying, "Scouts honor, we won't with you." So if you have a Rarebreed trigger, you're probably okay. If you have some other forced reset trigger,
he's been using Brand X,
well, you're probably still okay. I mean, let's be honest. As long as you don't go posting evidence of your crimes on the interwebs, it's not like they would know if you just had a straight up machine gun. Be careful out there, folks. But if you were to purchase questionably legal products, maybe you should use a pawn shop laptop on McDonald's Wi-Fi, pay with crypto, and have it shipped to your neighbor's house. Then again, maybe we should just start doing that with everything all the time to make it even harder for the feds to track us. Signal to noise ratio and all that, you know what I mean? And now, for your moment of zen.
Nope, that's not rain.
Somebody shot our water tower, shot the silhouette of Johnny Cash in a very sensitive area.
Standing proud, holding a guitar, and emptying this 50,000-gallon water tank all over Kingsland.
Well, hello, friend. Do you like pews and pew-related things? Would you like to help us keep delivering you pure and good American pew propaganda at the low, low price of free? We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. You deserve it. I love you.